Good morning and welcome everyone. Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
So I think that my few old participants are here. Nice to see you all here. So it would be better for interacting in the starting of this session if you turn on your camera if you are not getting any technical problem, technical issue, or you are in comfortable mood. So you could turn on your camera. Yes. Nice, Marcelina. Other, I would request all of you please turn on your camera. You are in comfortable mode and there is no technical problem, technical issue with you. And when we start the session, you could turn it off. No, but at this moment, in the starting and the end of the session, if you turn on your camera, would be great. I know that not audible. Am I audible, Marcelina? Am I audible to you?
You are audible, but there is a jagging.
Yeah.
There is a lagging in your voice.
Okay. Just a moment. I see what's the problem. It's okay. Now it's okay, my voice.
Yes, it's okay
Oh,
now.
Amitji, it's okay now? Audible properly? Yes. Uh, Marcelina, now it's okay?
It's much better, sir.
Yeah. Is there no noise? Okay, Praveennath, is there problem with you for the your connection? Your connection. Okay, no problem. No problem. Other can turn on your camera, please.
Yeah, we can hear.
Okay, thanks. Thanks. So, I would like to know that most of you are from the academic field, from the research, like a research associates and the professors and these all. Okay, so we are today's session is for the data analytics and the machine learning. First, I introduce myself due to few consent our few introducer the then could not come here. So let me introduce myself first. I'm a senior data scientist at Cypher Analytica, which is our own venture, and I'm also faculty at Upgrade, expert and mentor, and I'm also expert at Expertrons, and I'm working with many IT industries as consultant of data science, and I am also working as consultant in various other industries like Eco Laboratory and some other industries of other domain. Because the demand of data analytics is emerging very fast, and within next 5 years, every industry will require a data analyst because data is generating in a big quantity everywhere. You know that every company is now the salesperson, salesman, whatever of the company, they are having the mobile app and they do all the things with the mobile application, the billing and everything, receiving the money, everything. So they are getting the data is generating too much. And MNCs, you know that medium is small scale industries, they are unable to establish a full fledged data analytics department. They are unable to hire a senior data analyst. Okay, so they try to take senior data analyst as consultant, and then they develop their own data analytics department in-house with few mid-level data analysts and freshers. Because if they don't do anything with this data, it is garbage for them. Okay, so they want to get some benefit out from this data and through the insights and the analytics. So there is in future there is a very big demand for data analysts and machine learning experts. So I think most of you already know about what is data analytics. Yes, Saroj, can you tell me about do you have any idea about the data analytics? Yeah, randomly I will ask some questions so with the session maybe a little bit interactive. So please, if you are unable to connect on mic, you could write on the chat box. Yes. Saroj Singh, are you there? Are you getting me? Yes. I think I am not approaching her. So Aman Kumar, can you tell me about, have some idea about the data analytics? I want to see where from I have to start this session. So I randomly asking questions to you. Please you reply. It would be better to.
Can I give it a try?
Yeah, Amit. Very good.
Yes, sir. Data analytics is basically a process in which a huge data is being analyzed through several apps, which can be a Python or something else. And on the basis of our requirement and which type of result we want. Like suppose we want to analyze the consumer behavior. So we will
Yeah.
be analyzing the data on the basis of consumer behavior or consumer feedback.
Okay.
So after analyzing the data, what inference we get. So
Yeah.
this whole process is basically called data analytics.
Okay. Nice. So through the data, uh, we find out some insights from the data. Data is everywhere. In the tree, there is a data. There are various sort of leaves, small leaves, large leaves, and you will see there is different colors of the leaves in a tree. Some may be dark green, some may be light green, some may be pale yellow. In this way, and their shape is also may be different. So we could see there are data everywhere is a data in a tree, in a nature, everywhere. The thing which are more than one is data. My definition of data is that the thing which is more than one is data. The thing which is one is not a data. But that is
Yes.
only God. God is one and only one, unique. So what is not a data, but we are data. We are many.
Yes.
Okay. So we are data. So the first thing is that I just brief you some definitions of statistics, data analytics, and then we come to the importance of the data. We see the classification of data. There are various classifications of data, but I will give you the one hybrid classification of data, which you could use anywhere, or you won't be confused. You won't be confused anytime. So let me share my screen with you first. So first you open that folder. So let me share my screen with you, and we also do some practical work here. I will show you the practical also, but first half an hour we see some definition, 15 to 20 minutes. We will discuss various aspects of data analytics and this all. Then we will do some practical. So I think you are all getting my screen on your window.
Yes, sir.
So let us continue this session. So there are various tools which we use for analyze the data. Okay. So what are those tools? I will explain. The major tool is Python and R. We are using the data analytics. Also, we have various tools you will see here. Uh, So there are various tools in the upper half part. There is a Python, Advanced Excel, R, Tableau, says SPSS, Power BI, Hadoop, MySQL, Tableau, Spark. So these are the tools which helps us to do the data analysis process. And data analytics is a process basically. The core of data analytics and the data science is the statistics and mathematics. Okay. Uh, what percentage of statistics and what percentage of mathematics involved in the data analytics I will explain later on. So we could perform many algorithm of the machine learning, artificial intelligence, data analytics, data science, deep learning through these tools. Okay, these are the tools. And we could perform various sort of analysis. If you see the classification of the analysis, there are 4 types of analysis generally we perform. One is the descriptive analysis. Second is the inferential analysis. Third one is the predictive analysis. Fourth one is the prescriptive analysis. It is also called the perspective analysis or the prescriptive analysis. So we have various algorithms we use there for this sort of analysis. We are having different algorithms for the different sort of analysis. And we have some analysis of the sentiment analysis, churning analysis in the telecommunication industry. Sentiment analysis we do in a Twitter comments, whatever come on the Twitter and the Facebook, in the social media, we use the sentiment analysis. Sometimes we also use some open-ended question in our questionnaire, and then we find out we could use the sentiment analysis of the workplace over there. Meta-analysis is inferential analysis kind of, and pandemic analysis is also there, and the market basket analysis, customer segment analysis. So these are the various sort of analysis we perform. Basically, there are major three type of analysis we perform. If you see the modeling, 3 types of modelings are there. Analysis are 4, but the modelings are 3 major modelings we use. One is the regression, second one is the classification, and third one is the clustering. So I will explain later on these all things. Now we come to the next slide. You see the scenario of this data science and data analytics and the data engineers and the machine learning expert. There are various roles in this field. So if you see, first we collect the data from various sources. We have so many sources from where we collect the data. Then we clean the data. Now, after we explore the data, here we do the descriptive analysis, exploring data analysis, or here we also do the descriptive as well as inferential analysis. And then model building, this is the predictive analysis, and model deployment. This is the whole process we do. So the collection and cleaning is being done by data engineers. The major, we have 2 sort of cleaning of data. One is the macro, second is the micro cleaning. So macro cleaning is being done by the data engineers. They are having good knowledge of data structure and everything. They are from the IT guys basically. And in the middle, you see there is a data analytics. There is no requirement of any prerequisites are there. There is no requirement of any technical knowledge, the technical know-how. Anybody from the BCom or the BBA or the MBA guy can do this course, or they can be a data analyst. So here we do the micro cleaning of the data. Then we do the exploratory analysis. And finally, we build a model, train a model. This is the process of data analysis. We don't bother about the deployment, how to deploy the model in the software, the website, or portal, whatever. We don't have to bother about it. We just clean the data, we explore the data, we analyze the data, and we create the model. That is the role of data analyst. Okay, don't bother about other programming languages like Java, C++, CSS, HTML, PHP. Don't bother about that. Third, you see the machine learning experts. They are also expert in the model building. Okay, in the model building, we say the deep learning, they are more expert in the deep learning part. The machine deep learning, the subdomain of machine learning, and they also able to deploy the model. They have the good knowledge. They are the IT guys who can perform this activity. You may be, but later on. First, you have to complete this data analyst role. Then you could improve your knowledge. You gain some knowledge in the practical way in some industry, and then you could learn the things, these things, how to deploy the model through the Vue, through AWS, and there are so many other platforms or our own how we could deploy our model on our server. So this whole process is a data scientist. Okay, it is a process of data science. So is there any query, any doubt? Anybody would like to ask anything? Yes. No? Okay. We proceed. I will not take much time. I will don't. I will not. I will share these all things with you later on after this session. And the roles of data engineer, I will not go in deep. You will read it. I will share this with you on your mail. Okay, or I will send my Google Drive link. You could access these all few stuffs from there. Data BI analyst and ML engineer, data scientist, business analyst, and role hierarchy is also given. You could understand yourself when you see this chart, because I don't want to waste your time here. Because you come to learn something here important. That is very important. Explaining is not much important here. So now I will explain you what is the statistics and data analytics and the data science. We just discussed this, then we start some more thing. A statistic is a science and art of collecting, classifying, computing, analyzing, interpreting, and presentation of data and its insights. That is statistic. It is the generic definition. So it is an art and science both. So we see why it is science and why it is an art. If I give a small data set and I tell you, please you find out the mean of this. Okay. So we do it this here. This what would be the mean of this data? I have on your screen, you see there is a data, there is a 2, 5, 8, 10, 15. Can somebody tell me what is the mean of this? Please you calculate it and write on the chat box, or you could unmute yourself and tell me what is the mean of this data. Yes, it's very small data. Yeah.
mean
So the
is-
mean is 8.
8, correct. So you know that most of you are getting the same mean. If you are not conducting any calculation mistake, everybody will get the same mean. So it is a science. Science always gives us the same result. If we mix acid and base, we will get salt and water. Always. Nobody could get alcohol out of that. So same thing is here. So it is a science, always gives the uniform result. Second thing, why it is an art. So I will show you something. So you see there is a glass of water. So how do you interpret this glass of water? Yes,
Half full.
half full, right? Anybody else?
So the glass is half filled with water and half filled with air.
Correct. Your interpretation is correct. So this glass is full basically because whenever we get some result in the data analytics, so we got some value, some numeric value, some text out of that. mostly we get the numeric value, and that behind that numeric value there is lots of things is hidden, which we have to interpret. Okay, so searching out those hidden things comes with an experience. Interpretation comes with an experience. What it? So why I say that this glass is full, half with water and half with air. Some people say it is half empty, it is half filled, but the correct interpretation, which comes through the experience, or if you go in depth, then you could interpret it in a proper way. So this is, it is science because of this. And now let me explain. There are so many things, but I am not explaining everything. The data exploration, there is a data wrangling, then data mining. Okay, data warehousing. This we will read later on in our training course. I will explain each and everything. Feature engineering, feature selection. Okay, now we come to the classification of analysis. So you see, okay, first we come to the definition of data analysis I have given here. Data analysis is a process of obtaining raw data and converting it into information useful for decision making by users, by the business stakeholders. Data is collected and analyzed to answer questions, test hypotheses, to disprove theories. Okay. So this is the process. Data analysis is a process, while the statistics is science and art. Okay. So here you see in the analysis, if you see the classification, we have the descriptive, inferential, predictive, and prescriptive. Descriptive is what? Whatever we have in the data. If suppose we have a column like gender, we have 45 male and 50 females. So this is a descriptive analysis. We could use the percentage also for showing these. If we have the various section in a school of some certain class, like 10th class, we have a 3 section A, B, C. And we want to know the mean marks of mathematics of section A and section B and section C. So the mean, mode, median, standard deviation, this all comes under this descriptive analysis. Correlation analysis, even regression analysis we could perform that on. So this is the descriptive, whatever you have. Okay. Then the inferential analysis. The inferential analysis comes the correlation, regression, this sort of analysis, the various tests we perform over there through as per the hypothesis. So there is a hypothesis testing. It is more related to the academic person, but it is also required in the machine learning part. So inference analysis is a very weak field for the data. For the academicians, it is very important. There are various sort of tests: t-test, g-test, chi-square, Duncan test. There are many tests: parametric, non-parametric. So why it is? Here we study about why it is. If you see the difference of the average marks of mathematics of section A and section B, if you test it through the t-test or whatever, you get some significant difference. Your null hypothesis has been rejected. So if there is significant difference, then you have to find out the cause. Why this difference occurs? Due to teacher, or due to the students are not much intellectual in that particular section. So why it is? So it is the study of cause and effect. Next one is the predictive. Here the machine learning starts. Okay, what will be? Suppose we have a crop production and the rain and the data of certain region of last 50 years. We train one model, and when we input the rain, we could find out the crop production. What would be the crop production as per that? So it is a predictive model. Okay, so we may have more than one factor which impact the crop production, like sunlight, besides rain, like sunlight, and pesticides, seed quality, soil quality, okay, fertilizers, irrigation. There are so many other factors which also impact the crop production. So if we take this, consider these all factors while training the model, or we see these all have a significant impact on crop production, and we produce some model, and that model gives us some output, like you have inputted the data, whatever the, I will just tell you, just a moment, just take a notation. We have crop production, okay, which depends on your rain. The first is rain, then it depends on soil quality, and then it depends on your sunlight, then pesticides, fertilizers, then irrigation. These all make some impact on the crop production. So we have put the what, how much rain occurred in this year, and the soil quality. You have also put that thing, and the sunlight, pesticides, fertilizers, irrigation. These all, and you have got that the X metric ton crop production would be this year. But there is a demand of Y metric ton of crop production. So what you will do? This is our demand. This is our supply. There is a very big gap between demand and supply. So at this moment, AI works because the human intelligence is also works. You could diagnose it, and you could say that we should use this or this. The seed is also there. Seed quality I have not mentioned here. So as per this demand, our predictive model is telling X metric ton, but we require the Y metric ton. So our artificial intelligence model can predict this all thing, then recommend this all thing, not predict. Recommend what sort of seed you have to use as per the soil. It will recommend you the quality of seed. It will recommend you the fertilizer also as per the soil. What fertilizer you have to use here as per seed and soil. Okay. And as per the sunlight, it will suggest you the irrigation, how frequently you have to give the water in the field. As per the disease, it will tell you the pesticides to be used. So it will recommend you time to time what you have to do today, what you have to do, and what quality of seed you have to select. Everything it will suggest you. So this is the recommendation model through the AI, which helps you to increase the production from X metric ton towards the Y metric ton. It minimizes this gap. So this is the artificial intelligence. So model is same. There are little bit different. We put some arguments later on. Converting AI. So what is the difference between AL and AI? I explain you. ML is an infant. It's a small child, and AI is an adult. Okay, because the infant you learn from your childhood, when you get teenage or the adult, then you are able to suggest your father, you don't purchase this mobile, papa, you purchase this one, it would be better for you. So now you could recommend something, you are now intellectual. So similar way, if the model, the initial, the ML model is an infant, when we give it data and we retrain it time to time, it is a continuous process, retraining the model. It doesn't mean that you have once retrained you have trained the model, it will be okay. No. After some time, you have to again, when the other data will come inside that model, inside your data set and pass through the model, you have to take that data as a trained data and you have to retrain the model time to time. So it is a continuous process. It may be weekly, it may be daily, it may be monthly, it may be yearly, 6 months. So this is the thing we could train and this all thing. So first of all, I will explain you some practical, then we come to some other points, how we perform these all activities of the data analyst. Okay. So let me start some session for you. So first we are using R. Okay. Then we use later on we use Python also. Okay. So I will show you both the tools. And just a moment, I open this session. We have various data sets for performing the various sort of analysis. So I will take one data set which is I will use one data set that is I take this univariate then I show things. I open one new script here. This is the demo session. So whenever you see R is a tool for statistical analysis, and it has been developed by Robert and Rehop, both persons named with R. Previously, the tool name was S2. Later on, they have uh, contributed much more in the development of this tool. Their contribution was very high. They both were mathematician and statistician, and they have given the name R programming. R programming is a language, and R Studio is an integrated development environment. You are on your screen at this moment. You have a integrated development environment of R, which is very handy and interactive. If you work on the GUI of R programming, then you may get some. It is a dry. It is not an interactive GUI. The IT persons can enjoy it, but non-IT, they require some interactive things to work. They could see the result on the time, and they could do more activities on the same platform. So that's why we use some IDE, integrated development environment. So this is the R Studio, which is very famous. And whenever we have to write any comment, we use the hash sign. You see here I am putting hash, and then whatever you write, it is like a comment. R will not use its mind to read this thing and analyze this thing. It is a comment. Okay. So I just write the so this is a comment. If I run this, if I select and run this, if I select this up to here, and there is a button you see, okay, and I run this, it will just print it. It will not use its mind. Okay. So solve the whatever the equation or the statement. If we have another short key to run any line or the group of lines, bunch of lines we could run, control and enter. Control then enter if I run. So I will not get anything on the console. This is my script. The first window is the script window. Whatever I will write here, it will be saved in a real time. If you don't save it, it will be saved automatically. If your system shut down and some problem occurred, don't worry, your script will be saved. It's not like a word. Okay, it real time it will save. So first window is the script window, from where we take from here, and second window is the console window, where you get the output. Whatever you write here, you get output in the console window. And here you see the environment window. So environment window, whatever you are giving command here, the object name you are giving to something, then it will be in your global environment of R. Suppose I put x equal to 7, yeah, 5, and I run it. If I don't run it, if I just use the enter sign, then it will not, nothing will happen, because it is just like a typing. But if you have to run it, otherwise you have to go to the run button, or you could use the control enter. When you do the control enter, then you will get it is in the global environment. Now R knows that x is 5. R knows the object name is x and the value is 5. Whenever you will ask about x, and you write the x and you ask to print it, so there is no need to write the print x. You just write the x and the control enter. You will get 5. The x is 5. Similarly, if I write the y equal to 7, you will see y equal to 7. And if I ask what is y, whenever, so it will give me the 7. So it is in your global environment. If I want to perform some activity x plus y, so I will get 12. 5 plus 7 is 12. X minus y. It's very easy language. It's very easy. The command is very easy. Everything is very easy. Now we take some data set here. I will show you one data set of tips. Tips in a restaurant. The waiter gets some tips. So I give some name to that data set, which I am going to capture here. And that data set name is tips. So I think it should be here. Tips data set in my tips.csv. So this is a CSV format data set. We could read any sort of format in R, even the SPSS file or the SAS file or the Excel file, any file you will read here, which is related to data. So here it is in the CSV format. So whenever you write the name, write in the quotes, the tips dot, and also the extension, what it has, CSV. So you will see here X and Y I have given. I just remove this from here. So this global environment is empty. Now I run this. You will see I will get the MD. This is the object name I have given to this tips data. And you will see it is giving me little bit information here, the 244 observation and 7 variables. So I want to see this data. How does it look like? So I want to view it. I will just click here anywhere. So you'll see this is my data. This is my data, the total bill amount, tip, this is the gender, female and male, smoker, non-smoker, day, time, dinner and lunch, and size. The how many person were there in the restaurant, 2, 3, 4. So that is a data. You could view the data. Now we want to see the structure of data. So if you want to see the structure of data, there is a function str for structure. With the terminology is very simple. You don't have to use the big command. You just see, write the MD. I want to see the structure of MD data set. So you just have to write the structure and MD. You will see here the data frame 244 observations, several variables. The total bill is the first variable. Tip is the second variable. Sex is the third variable. Smoker, day, time, size. And their class of that variable is, it is a numeric. This is a numeric. This is a character. Character is under quotes always. You will see. And these are the character. This is the integer. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 size is the integer. It won't be in the decimal number of person. So in this way, we could perform the things. Now I will explain it. So here we are getting the structure. We are getting a glimpse of the data. Okay. So we can view the data. We can see the structure of data. Now, if we have the numeric data, first task, when we get some data, we read the data, we take glimpse the data, and then we start the exploring of data. How do we explore the data? So there are the three things, the univariate analysis, bivariate analysis, multivariate analysis. So through the univariate analysis, we analyze each and every variable independently, one by one. So how we could understand the nature and behavior of each variable? So we have three things. One is the shape of the data, shape of that variable. Second is the measure of central tendency, mean, mode, median. And third one is the measure of dispersion, how the data is spread. So here I will show you first the shape of the data, shape of the first variable, which is the numeric, which is the total bill. So I will make one histogram here for that. MD is my data set. And if I put the dollar sign, I will get the drop down menu where I will get the all variables name, all column names. I will select and I will run it. You will see this is my figure, shape of the data. So it is little bit, we could say that it is positive skew because the frequencies there on the near to origin is higher and the later it is decreasing. So it is a positive skew data. Okay. This all statistics, I will explain you in the detailed course. So first we see the shape of the data, or we have understand that there is a skewed data. Whenever you get some skewed data, you will go with median, not with mean. This is very important. Otherwise, you standardize your data. You could transform the data in some other scale. It will tend to norm. Then you could use the mean. Okay, so these are the various aspects we will study, we will deal in detail in our training sessions. So if you see here, this is the shape. Now I want to see the mean, median, these all thing of this data. So because it is skewed, I will go with median. Okay. MD dollar total. So median is 17.795. But median is not only sufficient for me. I would like to see some other summary points. So I will use a summary function. Summary MD dollar total bill. So you will see I am getting the minimum bill is $3.07. First quartile 13.35. Median is 17.8 and the maximum is 15.81. So you will see the 50% of the billing is less than 7.8 and the 50% is more than 7.8, 17.8. Okay, so it shows us the range between 17.8 and if you subtract 3, so you will get there 14 something. And here you get much more amount. So there is the many persons who paid more, spread it in a very big range. The persons, 50% persons spread it in very. There is a high spread, or there is a low spread. You will see here. So this is the summary we are getting, and measure of dispersion we could also see. The measure of dispersion we could see the range. So range is 15.81 minus 3.07. It is a range, or we could use some other function like describe for having some package like site. We have various libraries, various packages. Whenever we use that package, we have to run a library. Import this package. So I am using the site package, and there is a function describe. And I take the describe before describe. I will show you the summary of whole data. I have shown you the summary of the single variable. Now I will show you the summary of all data. This is the numeric variable. You see these are numeric variable. You will see this. But wherever the variable is character, you will not get anything. You will just get how many observations are there. Class is character, mode is character. It is given there. Only with integer or the numeric data, you will get these summaries. Okay. So for this gender and smoker, how we could get. So I will explain you that thing also later on. This is the describe. This is also for the whole variables. So this is the total bill, tip, sex, smoker, day, time. So this here you see there is asterisk with these symbols. So it means that these are not a numeric variable. These are something else than numeric. Yeah, so Bangi. If we smoother the curve, we'll get the data is positively skewed and slightly normally distributed. Yes. So here we are getting the mean, standard deviation, median, trimmed, mean, max, range, skewness, kurtosis, standard area. This is all we get. And how to interpret these all things we will see in our training session later on. But here you see we could perform this activity in a very simple way. In a very simple way with R and the Python both. R is more easier than Python. In the data analytics task, in the descriptive analysis or in the inference analysis, you could do better with R. Okay. But in the machine learning part or that the Python would be better. The R we also do the machine learning. Lots of machine learning we do with R, linear regression, logistic regression, decision tree, random forest, naive Bayes, all this. But the deep learning part are also perform, but not in better way like Python perform. This is the thing. We understand the data. We are getting the mean and measure of central tendency, median measure of central tendency, SD measure of dispersion, mean absolute deviation, and MED is a measure of dispersion, minimum, maximum range, skewness, kurtosis, standard error, everything we are getting. So in this way, we could perform the analysis on R. Is there any doubt? Any queries do you have? Yes. Just anybody have any query?
So I have a question.
Yes, sir.
We cannot see whether our data is skewed or not if we do not use the psych library. We have to use psych library.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
You could also see the value of skewness. This is the measure of skewness.
Okay, sir.
I will show it. It is also a function of psych library. Without psych running the psych library, you could not use a skew function.
Okay, thank you,
Okay.
sir.
So I will show you that. So you see the skewness is of Beal is 1.11. It is more than 1. Positive side. This is the highly skewed data. What?
Yes, sir.
So it means that there are some outliers in this data. It shows
Okay,
that.
sir.
So we see in the box plot. This is very simple syntax. You will see. I have to make a box plot. I am writing the box plot. The terminology is very simple, which we use in our general life. In the general terminology they have used here. MD dollar when you put, you will get the drop down of all the various. So you see these are the outliers we are getting.
Yes, sir.
If we remove these outliers, it will be under control. Okay. So it depends when to remove the outlier, when to use the outlier. Okay. So we will learn these all things in detail later on in the training sessions. So this is about R. R is very simple. Okay. You could do anything with R. There are the very good visualization in R. Okay. This is the visualization for our understanding, but there are very much pretty visualization you could perform through R. Okay. Multi-dimensional visualization you could perform with R. So we will, I could not explain in a 1.5 hour session all the things, but it is very easy. Now I will explain something about the Python also. Okay. Are you agree to see the Python with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me show the Python. So what I will go to some. Just a moment. Here I am using the Jupyter ID, and there are so many IDs for Python, like PyCharm, Atom, Spider, Jupyter, so many. So here I am using the Jupyter Notebook or the Jupyter Lake. Okay, so I'll see. Saroj, for data analysis, R is better than Python. But when you go in some industry, they will require both the languages. We should not be the tool centric. We should know the various tools related to uh, data analysis which you use for the data analysis. I will explain you about our course, what we are going to offering you later on after doing this. and with a small price, we are providing a good course of 6 months. This course would be very interactive live sessions every alternate days, 2 hour live session. And I will explain later on that all things. First, we just see this little bit more demo. This is our Python Jupyter notebook. I use this for PDA. And, I'll show you one class data I am taking here. Remove every outputs. So in Python, we have various packages, various libraries. The main libraries, we have the NumPy, Pandas, and then Matplotlib, Seaborn, Scikit-learn, States Model, various libraries. If you have learned Python previously, then you will feel it is better. But in R and the Python is a little bit complicated sometimes. I will explain you. Whenever you have to use some library function, you have to use the alias or the name of that library. Then you could use that function. And you read underscore CSV. Before that, you have to write down the PD. PD is the alias of pandas. But in R, if you see, I will show you the R, then you have to read, then you just writing down the read and .csv. You are not using any package name before. Even the SQ is the function of Scikit library. In spite of that, you are not using that library name before it. So it is easy. But in Python, you have to remember, you have to write that library name first, then dot you have to use that function. So that is the difference in both. In my opinion, I feel that R is much easier. So I am importing this R library. And now I want to read this data, the cars.csv. In the cars.csv, when I read the asterisk is running, asterisk is here, so it is working. It will take a little time. So, you know, the first and the second cell I have operated. And now I want to see the data, head of the data. Head means the first 5 observation I will get here. And I will show you. So this is the first 5 observation. The indexing in Python starts with 0, but in R, it starts with 1. There is a difference in the indexing. It is the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Model name, then mileage, almost same. If you have to find out the mean, you have to write down the mean. You have to see the describe function we have used here. Here also we are using the describe for. Almost same, little bit different somewhere. Okay. After learning with R, you could easily perform with Python. Okay. Both are both are similar. They're little bit different. So, how do you see this given all view? What we use in R, we also use the head in R. I will show you the head. MD. In R, we get top 6 function. The indexing starts with 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But in Python, you will see the indexing starts with 0, and we get only top 5 functions, top 5 observations. Okay, in Python. And R, we are getting top 6 observations. This is the only difference. And the indexing starts with 1, and the Python indexing starts with 0. Okay, nothing is more different. Now, I will tell you, as we could see the structure, in R is very easy. But in Python, you want to see the shape of data. So what is the shape of data? 32 is the observation and 12 are the columns. If you write the info, you will get like a summary. So you will get this summary. Summary we are getting in R. I have shown you the summary. This is the summary, the structures one. This is structure. We are getting the structure in this way. But in Python, we are getting the structure in this way. With the info function, the 32 entries 0 to 31. This the 0 is the index, starts with 0 and 31 it will end. Total 12 columns. The column names it will give you. Model name, mileage, displacement, horsepower, draught, weight, in this all. Not null count, all the values are there. There is no missing value. And the data type you have seen there, the object, there we have seen the character and numeric. You will see here. Numeric and character and integer. So there are various data types. The name is different. The thing is same. You know that the person having 2 or 3 name, nickname, and like that. So there is log like that. We have a different. And here I show you that the object is a character. Wherever the strings or the character, it is called the object. And there we say in the R character, here we say object. Float and integer are the numeric. Integer is the integer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. It's not the decimal numbers. Float is like numeric. Here you see R, this is the numeric. And here if we see, that is a float. Okay. So object, float, integer, this would be there. No much difference. I will show you the describe function. So describe function, you get the summary, the count, how many are there, and okay. Then mean, standard deviation, minimum, 25% is the first quartile, 50% is the median, 75% is the third quartile, and this is the maximum. So few summary points we are getting here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 summary points we are getting. So other summary, other statistic, if we require, we could use some other, we could use that through the function. Okay. And if you want to know the column names and these all, so these are the column names, how many columns, their names. And if I write the number of unique values in each column, the model name, the all model name are different. So the 32 observations, we are getting the 32 numeric values. Okay, Saroj Singh, I will explain about the training course, whole course and everything. What we are going to cover. So you see in the mileage we have the 25 unique values. The some values are repeated out of 32. Displacement we have 27 unique values. But in the type of engine we have 2 values. Type of engine may be the manual, type of engine, the V-shaped engine or the straight engine. Gear transmission is a manual and the automatic, 2 unique values. So these are the unique values we are getting. Okay. And what are those unique values? So in the gear transmission, in this variable, you have 2 unique values. So what are those values? Manual and automatic. Okay. Similarly, type of engine, if we see, vertical and straight engine. Number of carburetor, we have the number of carburetor, we have 6. So we have 4 carburetor, 1 carburetor, 2 carburetor, 3 carburetor, 6 carburetor, 8 carburetor. Then this way, we could see how many unique values are there. This is the little bit I have explained you about these all things. Let me first come to the point, what we are offering, and later on I will show you the whole process of data analytics. At the end, I will explain you. I have a different PPT for that. I will show you that PPT here, and I will explain that also at the end of this session. This we see after explaining the course. Define the business problem, business understanding, how we get the when we work in real scenario, how we get the problem, how we convert that the business problem into data problem, and how we perform the data analysis. The whole process I will explain. Okay. So before that, I would like to explain you about the course, and I will send you the PDF of that course and everything later on your mail. So I just where is that? Are you getting this on your screen? Yes. For my work, I have to group patient with epilepsy according to women, men types of epilepsy. As a patient, I have to put it in Word program, which can then classify it in our no, no, that you have to put what Microsoft, not Word. You could enter the data in Excel sheet. Then we could read that Excel sheet in. Yes, Redmi, please you mute your mic. I think that the people are getting some disturbance. Okay. I mute. Okay, now it's okay. I have muted her. You have to feed the data in an Excel sheet, Microsoft Excel. Yes, Python has many inbuilt data sets. The Seaborn has a different, the tips data which I have shown you with R, it was the data set of Python, Seaborn library. Okay. So now I will explain you this whole training program and scenario, which is related to data analytics and machine learning. The key learning objective of this training program is understand the fundamentals of statistics and mathematics. This is the theoretical all concept would be explained here. Work with different types of data using R and Python, and database management using MySQL. Whenever you go in a development environment in some company, there is some database where the data comes and gather, and they give us that data through the data warehouse. We could fetch that data, and we know how we could fetch the data from database or the data warehouse. So that is the MySQL we will learn about, one of the tool database management. And business intelligence using Tableau. Tableau is a visualization tool where we could use the through the visualization we could give the insights of the data. Okay, so it is also a very good tool. So we will learn with this. We will learn Python. We will learn R. We will learn MySQL. We will learn Tableau, and some Excel part also, advanced Excel and this all. So first, there are you will see we have the 5 modules overall. So first module is the essentials of statistics and mathematics. What we will cover here. So introduction and role of statistics and mathematics in data analytics. Classification of data, measure of central tendency, measure of dispersion, correlation regression analysis, probability and its various distribution, functions and polynomials, basic calculus, matrix algebra, and basic trigonometry. This all we will learn here. Okay. And the second module, data analytics and machine learning using R. So data types, R have a different data types. As we have seen, the R has a numeric, integer, character, factor, but Python has a different data types. Okay. So data type, basic syntax of R, as I will explain later on. Exploratory data analysis, univariate, bivariate, multivariate, data visualization with R, data preparation, inferential analysis, reliability of data, factor analysis, principal component analysis, parametric test, non-parametric test, we will cover here. Predictive analysis, machine learning, we learn about the linear regression model, logistic regression, decision tree, random forest, time series, and classification and segmentation. Database management using MySQL, introduction of database management system, data warehouse, and structure of data warehouse, types of schema, difference between transactional database and the data warehouse, SETL, select, extract, transfer, and load, what is SQL in RDBMS, and data definition language, data manipulation language. We will learn this about in the third module. In the fourth module, we will learn. Okay. In the CSV, we have to use the .csv. .csv. I will just explain you. Okay. So here you will see we were here the predictive modeling we have covered. Okay. This. So this is the MySQL and the Python. The same thing we will learn in the Python. What we have covered in R. But the few more things are extra things is the data types in Python, NumPy, and Pandas. So we have different data type in the basic Python. NumPy we have a different data type in the Pandas. We have the different data types. Basic syntax of Python, and then the everything is same as we have covered in the R. Okay, so there is a no conceptual knowledge is required for Python. We just see the coding part of it, and business intelligence using Tableau. So the introduction, the fifth module of introduction to Tableau architecture, working with Tableau dashboard, implementing data blending and aggregation, data visualization and real-time analytics, Tableau generated fields and special field, connecting Tableau with R, deploying R scripts on Tableau, and data connections for organizing data, Tableau graphs, reports, and calculations, data storytelling with Tableau. So this all we will read there. So this PDF I will send you, but there are some videos of mine which you could refer, you could review it. The videos, the classification of data, the simple linear regression concept, and the simple linear regression using R, the simple linear regression using Python. So these few videos you could watch. And now let me tell you some more thing about the course. The duration of course is 3 months training and the 3 months internship. So total 6-month course is this. So it is online. It is alternate days, 2 hours each day. And if we talk about the fee, it is only 10,000 for Indian participants. Okay. In 10,000, you will learn essentials of statistics, all concepts. You will learn using data analytics using R. You will learn data analytics using Python. You will learn the MySQL database management. You will learn the Tableau. So whole data analytics course you will cover here, and you will get the 3-month internship, which would be unpaid. Okay, you will not get any payment, any salary or the payment. What we say, you will not get any stipend over there, and you will get the 3-month certification of the internship also in the real time project. And for the foreign students, it is $150. Okay. Yes, I will share this document. I will share this document with you. So I will send it to your mail, and you could see the watch the video. Then you could decide. And next week we are going to start this training session, and this training session would be very small training session we conduct always, but it is the totally live. There is no recorded video. We will give you the lecture video recordings. You could watch later on, but it is a live session. It is an interactive session, 10 to 12 people participants in one session only. Okay, so it is very interactive. Oh, there is one mentorship call is also for 45 minutes every week. And then not every week, fortnightly. In the 15 days, one mentorship call you could use. In a month, you could use the 2 mentorship call, that is 1-to-1. You could 1-to-1 connect with me. Okay, whatever your doubts, sometimes you hesitate to discuss the things in a group. So in the 1-to-1 discussion, you could use 45 minutes call twice a month with me. It would be only on Saturday and Sunday. Okay, so that is a mentorship call. In the some circumstances, if you want, we will consider some other timing also, but it depends on my availability. Mode of session online, live sessions thrice a week for 2 hours each. Other facilities, you will get the study material PDF format, all the study material, all the stuff, scripts and literatures, lectures, sorry, you will get lecture recordings would be available each participant. So it's very cost, very less cost we are providing, a very small cost we will see, only the 10,000, you are getting the course of data analytics, all the your requirement are being fulfilled through this course. You would be a full stack data analyst after doing this course. Okay. So in the because the in the next 5 years there would be a requirement of data analyst in each MNCs everywhere. So this is now we come to our continue our session. Is there any doubt, any query anyone could ask me?
Sir, in the case of working professionals,
We are
how?
generally we are taking this session in the 6 to 8 in the morning. One
Okay,
session.
sir. Okay, sir.
And alternate days. So one day you could wake up early in the morning, 5:30.
Yes, sir.
You could attend the session, and the other day you could sleep up to 8. No
Okay,
problem.
sir.
So that is
And
the 6
okay,
to
sir.
8 is we have a time, and the evening also we provide it, but it depends on the 7 to 9 or whatever the time is. But
Okay,
the
sir.
morning batch, I am going to this particular batch in the morning time, because the one batch is running 6 to 8. I have already from last month there the 22 sessions have been completed, and alternate days I have free. I have finished just one session, so I have a free slot there 6 to 8. So it would be better for the working people. I think that
Okay, sir.
morning timings are very good. The mind is fresh and you could understand nothing properly. Okay. So, okay, you want to know more about the internship. Internship, we have various projects of data analytics. Okay. Some projects we have the machine learning, some projects we have the inferential analysis, PhD thesis analysis, statistical analysis, research paper writing work we have. So we have many companies in a group. So as per that, the some companies, because I am consultant in, as I have explained you, many IT companies. So the projects are running every day. So suppose we have 12 people, 12 participants. So 3 I will put in some other company and 3 I will put, 2 I will put in some other company as per the requirement. What it? Yes, can you rename yourself? Yeah, I am only getting your mobile number here. Can you write your name? Yes. Yeah. Evaluation, there would be assignment after every chapter. You have to give that assignment. As per the assignment, we will give the marks and evaluation and give the certificate, grading certificate. But there is an assignment after every chapter. I will show you the how does it look like the assignment. I will show you one assignment. You see, this is our assignment. These the problems. What would be the output displayed if we in this way? We have to submit this assignment. We give you some timeline for submitting the assignment. 1 week timeline, not a small timeline. Always, whenever we finish the chapter, after that we give the assignment and we give the 1 week timeline. The 1 week you have to submit your assignment. Okay, assignment and attendance both are required for the grading. And we also after assignment, we in some assignments we have a project also. So later on we show you the project also. Now come to that point here. Time we have only 10 minutes, and if you have some query you could ask me later on. First we discuss this thing. This is very important, how we perform the practically, how we perform this. Yeah, we are providing 3 certificates. One is one certificate is for the data analytics. Second is for the data in business intelligence certificate, because the business intelligence is the subdomain of data analyst. So these two certificate and one is the internship certificate. So we are providing 3 certifications. 2 from Cipher Analytica, 1 from the company. Internship certificate from the company. Okay. Stata is okay, but it is not popular in industries. It is online internship you have to do. Only 2 hours daily you have to spend on that work. You will get the timing, you will get the some task from that company, and you have to attend some meetings with the company fellows who are working that project, and they will give you the task, and you have to perform that task in that particular time range. Okay, finish. Yes. Now, you see, as a data analyst, you will face a multiple of you will face a multitude of challenges ranging from understanding various business problems to choosing the best techniques to solve them. You will get a business problem. That is a business problem. To avoid getting lost, data science scientists have developed a robust process to solve virtually any analytics problem in any industry, appropriately called the cross-industry standard process for data mining. The CRISP DM framework we use for doing this whole process. So it involves a series of steps which you will soon find quite intuitive. Business understanding, then data understanding, then data preparation, data modeling, model evaluation, and model deployment. This whole process we use in the cross-industry standard process for data mining. For data analysis, understanding the business and its specific problems is of utmost importance. You have to understand the problem clearly to convert it into a well-defined analytics problem. You have to convert that business problem into analytics problem. So you have to understand very carefully the business problem. Then only you could convert them in analytics problem. Only then you can lay out a brilliant strategy to solve it. Else you will be super efficient in solving the wrong problem. However, otherwise you could not solve it in the wrong way. It is important to note that steps in the CRISP DM framework are not necessarily sequential in nature. You could change it. For example, your data understanding can improve your understanding of business itself. But it all starts with the business understanding. We should be able to articulate the business object from the broad problem statement so that the next step in the CRISP DM framework can be performed effectively. So first you have to start with the business problem. In the summary, to understand the business problem, one has to undertake the following steps: analysis, determine the business objectives clearly. What are their business objectives? Determine the goals of data analysis. What is the goal of your data analysis? These 2 steps, I will explain you later when we do the practical, these all things. I'm just explaining a little bit. Owning IPL team, business understanding, I'm taking one example of this IPL team. So let's understand the relevance of a business understanding using an example we all connect with cricket. We all know the cricket. Imagine you are working as a data scientist in an IPL team. So now how you will convert that business understanding into analytics. So one of the business problem for IPL team owners is buying the right players. Okay, interestingly, match winners are not always the right players, but rather the ones who help team owners make money. That is the right player. So as with any business, IPL team owners want to make profit. Since the profit is equal to revenue minus cost, everybody knows it. The team needs to generate more revenues than cost. So let's look at the components of revenues and cost. So what are the components of revenues and the revenue components? If we see, the media right is 60%. The cricket board of India, BCCI, collects revenue from broadcasters like Sony and other and shares a part with the teams. So this forms about 60% of the total revenue, and teams always get it no matter what players they choose. 60% they get through the right, selling the right. Sponsorship, 25 to 30%. The logos on players' jerseys, helmets, bat, and advertisement by sponsors. So players also promote for sponsors through TV ads, and most of that money goes to the team owners. Sponsors pay more when they get higher viewership, which means star players and the one who entertain help teams make more money. How much money? A whole lot. Sponsors revenue forms about 25 to 30% of total revenue. So, and this is why most IPL players resemble walking billboards or Formula One drivers. Now we talk about the some more things. Ticket sales, only 6 to 8% revenue through the tickets. Okay, prize money 5 to 10% if applicable. So I will not discuss here. Cost. Now what are the costs? Franchise fee. There are three main types of cost: is buying and maintaining an IPL team. Franchise fee, 60%. There is the most of the owning an IPL team. The money that team owners pays to BCCI for the honor of owning a team in IPL. This cost is fixed amount to about 60% of total cost. Players cost is 30 to 35%, depending on the choice of players. Maintenance 5 to 10%. The other staffs, the staff salary, which are day to work they are doing, and this all. So this is the understanding. Yeah, we have to understand the thing in this way. When you are, you should know these all terminology, these all things when you are going to conduct. Then understanding raw data, and we will not go too much in this session. So we have understanding raw data and summarize, preparing the data analysis. Then the heart of data analysis is the modeling, and the last we do the modeling and modeling and deployment. The modeling and model evaluation basically. So after deployment, you also retrain the model after some time. Then you evaluate, then you deploy, and this process runs cyclically. So this is the thing. See, all models are wrong. Only some are useful. We have a various algorithm we use for modeling. So these are all about. We will discuss this later on when we come in the training. I will explain each and everything in detail with practical way. I hope everyone. I hope you enjoyed this session. Have you enjoyed this session? Yes. Can you write on the chat box if you enjoyed? You could use some reaction button. There are some reaction button. Use it. And I will send you along with this PDF one feedback form. So I request you to please fill that feedback form. So in the next our sessions, we could improve ourselves. Okay, whatever the feedback, negative or positive, you could. Okay, we appreciate whatever the feedback is being given by always. So, Dr. Anish Kumar, I would like to ask you how we do like this session. Yes, Dr. Anish Kumar.
Yeah, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, good.
Sir, your session was very good and that is informative.
Yes.
Regarding the new students, they want some internship regarding this new concepts, which is right now they are doing this type of informations. So this is good for the institute as well as the students.
Yeah, but like your person, you are already a professor somewhere. I think that lecturer or
Yeah.
professor. Dr. Anish.
Pardon,
Yes,
sir?
can you introduce yourself a little bit about your professional background, sir?
Yeah. Myself, Dr. Anish Kumar Chaudhary, Associate Professor in Chamli Devi Group of Institution, Indore.
Okay, okay. So for
Computer science department.
you, as an internship, you will not do the internship in any company because your field is academic.
Yes, sir.
So we have a different structure for you after the completion of this training program. Whatever the research paper or whatever you write, okay. So
Okay.
we would help you to do the things in a proper way.
Yes, sir.
We have already few statistical analysis works from the PhD and the research paper, so you can involve in that team.
Yes, sir.
But there is some MOU because a non-disclosure agreement should be there. So you don't disclose that data to other. Okay, it
Okay.
is because of someone's work is that someone has collected that data and he is doing some work. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
So that is the non-disclosure agreement we take for that sort of thing, and we involve in that team. Okay.
Last time I have attended your research methodology class.
Yes. Yes.
In last year you have already conducted this type of research methodology workshop.
So this all will cover in this training session.
Okay.
Every research methodology, the factorial block design, randomized block design, everything we will cover. We sort of we have a data what research design we could apply there. So I have already done more than 400, 500 PhD thesis analysis.
Okay, sir.
Still, I am every month I get 3 to 4 PhD analysis worldwide.
Okay.
So I use different research design as per the requirement. So you attend.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
I request you to attend. You will get more benefit out of this. In the future, in the academic field, you have to write always some new research papers, and we have to publish in some journals. So if you have this basic knowledge of statistics, you could do it in more efficient way.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Sir, I'm a PhD scholar from AIMS New Delhi. And sir, I am trying to build models. I am trying to do prediction modeling on cancer patients.
Nice.
So we will use model deployment and model building in this course.
Model deployment is not there in this course, but later on we have a small course for the Flask and Django.
Okay, sir.
We will introduce. That is not a very costly like this. It is 10,000 bucks. That is also near about 5,000 bucks. You will learn all the things related to the how to database and everything you will learn here.
Okay, sir.
So that you could easily. And so what algorithm you are going to use in the model building of that cancer patients?
Sir, I'm still in the learning phase, so I have just learned a
So
few
what is the
algorithms.
target variable? What is the target variable? Like the benign or ligand or like
Yes,
this?
sir. Yes, sir. Benign or malignant based on the genetic characteristics of the patients.
Okay, nice. So it would be a classification problem. We have the categories. So we could use the logistic regression, we could use decision tree, we could use random forest. We have many algorithms, but the problem is the classification problem.
Okay, sir.
So we have 3 types of problem: regression problem, classification problem, and clustering problem. So in the every problem has a different sort of algorithm. Multiple algorithm we could use, and then we and after using it, we get the evaluation of all the algorithm. Whichever the algorithm is giving us the good result with unknown data,
Yes, sir.
that we finalize.
Yes, sir.
So you will cover these all things in this our course. So if you and your colleagues, you ask them to join. So as early as I will get the participants 10 to 12, I will start the batch within a week. Okay. So I will send you all about the PDF and some other things, stuffs also, the Google form for feedback. So thanks all of you to see you all here. Okay. Thanks everybody. Have a nice Sunday. Thanks, Saroj. Thanks, Suresh.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.